Hello, folks. Welcome back to this week's episode of PunKrap, etc. I want to double check that we are broadcasting before I continue to speak words, because last time I did a sketchbook session, we weren't broadcasting, and I had to repeat a bunch of stuff, and so I don't really feel like doing that again today. So I'm double checking, making sure on Facebook that we are broadcasting, and then once I make sure that we are broadcasting, then I will go on to speak. In the meantime, here we are. I'm just updating this. So in the meantime, because I'm sure, yeah, there we go. I'm sure I'm fine. Welcome to PunKrap, etc. Hi, I'm MJ. This week is our second sketchbook session, number 2. You are not seeing my face because I look like absolute trash today. I stayed home from, not stayed home from work, I worked remotely, and honestly, I just didn't really feel super well all day long, so I just decided to keep this with a no face type of vibe tonight. There we go. So what you're seeing here is, if you've never been to a PunKrap, etc. sketchbook session before, we do different types of different types of PunKrap sessions here, and specifically this week we are going to do a sketchbook session. Other weeks I'll do album reviews. Other weeks I will, yes, this is my own show broadcasting. I just like to make sure that it actually is working. So anyway, sometimes I do album reviews, sometimes I do acoustic sessions with bands from around here, which I did last week. And this week, what we are going to do is a sketchbook session, which I did, I think about 3 weeks ago at this point in time. And, essentially what I will do during one of those sessions is go and pull up my massive list of gigs that I have been to and sketch out how I felt during that gig, or like what I felt, what I remember from it, etc. And so at this point, I think I've been to 100 and something. I don't remember at this point. It's 100 and I'll let you look. Not at the rest of my stuff because I don't know what I've got on here. Live music, I let you guys see last time. So this week around, we're doing my second concert ever, which was Neil Diamond, on the 18th of August, 2005. And it was at Madison Square Garden, my first time being at like a really big venue, which was crazy. So I'll tell you the story about that in a second, but this is all the live music I've ever attended. And currently I'm up to 135, which is crazy. So we're going to keep that going. My goal this year actually is to be to 1 concert per week, theoretically, like averaged out, because it's not going to happen every week, but definitely is accomplishable to do 52 concerts, because last year I did 47, which was bonkers, and actually was not like, I didn't aim for that. It just kind of happened. So anyway, we're going to get drawing. What we're doing this week is, like I said, my Neil Diamond show. Last week we did my first concert ever, which was a Hilary Duff concert in Bryant Park. That was the result of last week's drawing, and we're going to go completely different from the style of this drawing, because I want to do something a little bit more simple, and I want to tap more into my ability to just like kind of draw besides like cartoon type stuff. So I am drawing, what I'm going to draw is my biggest memory of this day, and that I will start to explain now. And I currently have in headphones with some Neil Diamond playing, but I cannot play that for you guys because copyright laws. So I'm going to start off with actually one of my favorite songs from Neil Diamond, which happens to be, I don't know exactly what compilation album this was of his because I can't find it on Spotify or anything, but it was like a 2-disc set from my father, who gave me this huge, it was big, it was like thick, and it was 2 discs of Neil Diamond's greatest hits from, I guess at the time that I got it, it must have been like 2003, 2004. And I had like this little Hello Kitty boombox, and I would play the absolute ever-loving shit out of it. So the first song on that album was Solitary Man by Neil Diamond, and I know every single word to this song, and I know what came next. I know what came after it. But it's a shame that I can't play it for you, but again, copyright laws. So, how I got to this Neil Diamond concert, right? Let's set the scene. It's 2005. I am 8 at this point. And I am, I'll explain to you what exactly I'm drawing, like, once I've kind of gotten into it. So, again, this is hard for me because I am really bad at speaking while I'm drawing. I never anticipated that being, like, a challenge that I had to endure while doing this. I never even thought about it. But this looks like a tombstone. It's not. I don't know, what do seats in Madison Square Garden look like? As much as I love Neil, I don't think that I can listen. I think that that's too much stimulation. Doing, like, a drawing and listening to music and trying to speak myself. Yeah, I think that's too much. Because I did it last time, and I stopped speaking for, like, a good amount of time. I don't want to do that again tonight. So, essentially, how I got to loving Neil Diamond, right? What 8-year-old, as every 8-year-old does. When, like I said, when I was, 6 or so, my father, I don't think I want to draw this in perspective. I think I want to draw this. Do I want to do this? Do I want to challenge myself? No, I don't think I do. Do I want to do this in perspective? For the non-artists out there, I could either do this. What I'm drawing is, like, the seats at Madison Square Garden, so I could either draw this like this, with the seats, like, which if you're looking at them straight forward, or I could draw them, like, as if you were, like, looking at them from an angle. I think, because if I did that, I have to draw the arms like this, and then that would kind of get in the way of things. I mean, it doesn't look bad. And then there'd have to be another one next to this, so on the other side. When there's concerts, are there 2 bars? Because then you got, like, the little, this doesn't go all the way down. There's a poles because this flips up, right? And that's the pole for this one, and then there's a pole for the other one next to it. And they're right up against each other. I guess we're drawing this in perspective. I guess that's going to be the thesis. Yeah, that looks good. So basically, when I was a kid, I was given a Hello Kitty boombox as a, 5-year-old or so, I assume. And I was amped, to say the very least. I loved music. I still do, as we know, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this podcast. I loved music. I loved music, but I really didn't know, like, that I could like my own stuff, I wish I could, like, lower this a little bit, but I'll just bring it closer. Let me wear the full headset now that I'm not listening to music. Gotta be able to hear yourself, Anyway, now that I can fully hear myself. Right? Yeah, my headphones are on. So, essentially, I never really, like, knew that I could get my own music. Are there more than one mic on? No? Okay. That I could get my own music, or, like, what the concept of music was, because I was always given compilation albums. And I never understood that musicians could do... Oh, that's an awful tangent. Hold on, we gotta make that longer. This is how far out the hand rest should go, because it should be as long as the seat, right? I'm gonna go with yes. Well, and that one doesn't work. Okay. So, essentially, I didn't understand how music worked because of the fact that I was always given compilation albums, and so I never like, you know, understood that you could uh like get music. Like I'm sorry, I'm not exactly speaking how, or saying exactly what I want to say. I didn't get that you could just like, you know, get albums from people and they kept producing them, because again, I was given albums of greatest hits. So I didn't understand that. Do I want to make this not perspective? Let me start to draw me, and then we'll see how that goes. So basically, whenever I draw, I like draw like a little bit too much. I always want to draw like less than I do, and I end up drawing more than I want to. I always go way too in depth. I'm really bad at simplifying things. And yeah, is this going to be like 2 drawings of... Yeah, I kind of want this to be closer in. I know I want you to be able to see my dress. My shirt. That's like a big part of it. But do I care about the rest of it? No, I don't. I don't think I have a big eraser. I think I have this tiny one on the back of my pencil. If you ever wondered what it was like to be an artist. So, we're starting over. But, essentially, I was given this Neil Diamond CD. I don't know why. I was given, like, a bunch of different compilation CDs when I was a kid. And, I got given the CD. I fell in love with a bunch of the music on it. And my mom always loved Neil Diamond. And so, when I was, like, I don't know. Oh, I was 8 because it was 2005. So my dad had gotten tickets for him and my mom to go and see Neil Diamond at Madison Square Garden, which is crazy, by the way, that he was playing at such a big venue. Yeah, I think I care about just like my face kind of, because the shirt is important and what it says on it. And it's kind of, I was almost the same age as this. I was about a year older at that point. I don't know how to draw children. Did I have my hands up? Maybe I had my hands up. Let's just draw the base first. It's funny, being an artist, like, I'm like, I don't know what anything looks like. Even though I've drawn it, or like, you know, been an artist for years and years. I still am like, what even does that look like? I don't know. How does a shoulder connect to a fucking body? I don't know. Not like that. But we're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I definitely had my hands up. I guess like this. And you have elbows. People have elbows. I want them to go straight, though. I don't want my arm to be bent. And am I going to cut my hands off? Yes. And that's not because I don't want to draw hands. It's because I want to be like, woo. Well, this one will have a hand, I guess. That's the start of a hand. We'll flesh it out later. But, and this will get, obviously, better as we go along. Should have brought the shirt for reference. I still wear it now. So, essentially, my dad bought these tickets, and I remember this day, and my parents might debate me on this, but I definitely remember this day being the way that it was. And I remember my brother was sick, and I was, we were doing, like, beading. My mom was, like, super into beading at the time. Like, beading, like, making bracelets and shit. And so, because she was, like, super into it, like, you know, when you're a kid, like, you're like, ooh. And so, I was also, beading with her on the porch. And my dad was like, yo, we got these concert tickets for tonight, but, like, I don't think I can go because Jared's sick. So, like, I'll stay home with him. And Mom was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, I mean, can I come? Because why not, right? Like, free concert? Okay. And so they were like, yeah, okay. And my dad was, I think both of them were kind of like, I don't know if, you'll know the music or not, or you'll like the music or not. And in my head, I was like, hell yeah, I do. So I've been listening to this shit for years. You guys just don't realize how often. So what I'm drawing here actually is when I was a kid, I had these like, I don't know how to describe them. They look like this. They had like two like big beads or like balls at the end that you could like loop into each other. And I'm pretty sure that they're made for people with like natural hair. I don't have natural hair as I am very white. And I really wanted them, but I couldn't use them on my hair because duh. And so I used these to like tie up my shirts so that they would be like cooler. And I wore those that night. So anyway, my mom was like, yeah, cool. Like, I'm down, whatever. And she ended up during this, I think she dropped a bead. We have this deck in the back of our house that has like slats in it, because wood. And so we would lose a bunch of shit down there. Cards a lot of the times. And or like, little pieces of food or whatever. And my mom lost a bead down there. We ended up like having to search for it for a while. But that was like before the concert started. And so we like take the LARR. And what's so funny is back in the day, I was always like, oh, the city is such a dirty, nasty, gross place. Because every time that I would go, my parents would be like, don't touch anything, don't look at anyone, don't talk to anyone, like, don't make eye contact, blah, blah, blah. And I was always like, oh no, the city is like, I was always so scared of it. And like, you know what? They were right in saying so, but my little mind just made it up to be like, this is the worst place in the world, and it's not, obviously. Because I, love it now, and I would never have expected that. I think I just like was so wrapped up in the fact that I like viewed it as this like awful place. And again, it's not. And so went to the city. I like got all dressed up. But before we left, my mom was like, hey, I have this old shirt from back when I was like, a teenager and I loved Neil Diamond. And I was like, vibe. Because in my mind, I think because of the fact that the only concert I had been to before this was the Lizzie McGuire concert. In my mind, you had to go to the concert wearing the merch from the artist. Obviously, that's not true. You are allowed to attend concerts in whatever, basically, fashion you want. However, I was intent on this. And so my mom, bless her, was like, here, and pulls out this like shirt from back in the day. I'll draw now that I'm talking about it. I wear this probably once a week, and the shirt design just went right the fuck out of my head the second that I said it. So it's Neil. It is letters like this. I think they have serifs actually now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. Serifs for non-art people are like the little, this is a sans serif letter. This is a serif letter where they have like the extra fancy tails, I guess is what you'd call it. For the actual love of God, I could not tell you what this shirt looked like. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wear this, I shit you not, at least once a week to bed. It is like not ratty, but like it's old at this point in time, and like it definitely is not white anymore, but it used to be white. So it says Neil Diamond. I think obviously prettier than that, and I'll make this better when I go over it in pen when I do my outline. And in it are little rhinestones. It's pink lettering, which is the only color we're going to use in this entire thing. They're little rhinestones, like actual, like they stick up off the shirt because, oh my God, I'm going to text my parents and ask them to send me a picture of this because it's going to bother me if I don't get this entirely right. Father. Hey, can you go into my room and you don't need to know exactly where this is in my room. First dresser drawer. 3 or 4 shelves down and take a picture of the Neil Diamond shirt. It might actually say Diamond Girl, to be frank with you. Neil Diamond shirt. It was pink. No. Sequin. My dad said, okay, we'll be getting back to him. Neil Diamond Girl shirt. Because people who liked Neil Diamond apparently used to be called Diamond Girls, which my mother explained to me, which I understand. We'll get back to the writing when my father gets me back that shirt, we'll go to the face for now. So, essentially, my mom was like, here's this shirt that I used to own when I, used to see him back in the day, and I was like, neat, sick, and then I was like, oh no, but wait, don't you need a shirt? No, like you need to have a shirt too. And she was like, no, like don't worry about it. It's totally fine. You can wear it. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I was really excited. I was super, super amped to go to this concert because I didn't realize it then, but I love live music. And right now what I'm doing is just the outline, the sketching per se of this. I'll explain to you what this is in a second. That's my little nose. That's my little side of my nose. And that is me. I don't know how good the likeness is going to be completely honest with you, because I don't draw young people ever. I only draw faces of women ever, which is going to be fun for the later ones. But for the ones that are now, it's definitely like a little confusing. Like, I mean, let me get my regular sketchbook. I don't want to open to just any random page because I don't know what I've got in here. But my sketchbook's kind of like my diary. What's the one that I just drew the other day? I drew this the other day. So I draw like stuff like this is kind of how I draw. Like this. And that's cool, but that's also not like what children look like. So I could go for like a more realistic approach, but I don't really have any like references right now. So I have like drawings like this. It's upside down. But oh my god, my dad got back to me. Okay, what does it say? It does just say Diamond Girl. Thank you. Thank you. Genuinely, I would not have actually known. So for your reference, people, it looks like this. Whoop, wait. Here. It looks like this. So it says Diamond Girl. I was wondering because I was like, I don't know that it says Neil. Why they would put Diamond Girl in one sentence? Who's to say on that? But Neil Diamond live in concert. I'm surprised my mom actually bought this. Actually bought the T-shirt, to be honest with you. My mom doesn't like wear T-shirts, so shocker there, to be honest. Let me separate these out. How many letters is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But 2 of them are I's, so we're going to count that as 10. And separate them off into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, I'm just gonna D-I-A-M-N-O. Am I a human? D-I-A-M. Nope. O-N-D-G. Okay, so I need 2 more on either side. But again, the I's are tiny. So like D. Always a struggle with lettering. The A. Yeah, it's going to be skinny. Skinny legend. It's going to be tiny. Why they put such a long saying on this shirt? Who's to fucking say? Not me. But here we are. Yeah, am I completely abandoning my original line for this? Yes. But that's okay. What? G, bitch. That G is fancy. And then an I. And then an R. So many letters. Nice. Diamond Girl. And then Neil Diamond Live. And I'll make that better when I actually write it. Live in concert 2001. Because I don't care about the exact accuracy. So, essentially, where was I? I was pumped. I was amped. I was ecstatic, if you will, to go to this concert. Woo! And I think my parents started something that they didn't realize they'd be starting. That is way too high up for a set of lips. I had tiny wee baby lips. I had very, very baby lips. And I had much more chubby cheeks than this. Don't let this fool you. I want me to be like in awe. Facial expressions besides just static ones are really hard for me. Listen, I'm an artist, but I definitely could strengthen up on my drawing skills and have been saying this for literally eons at this point. That mouth is too big. No, this is not shit on myself hour. This is draw hour. If you're gonna be smiling. Right now I also look worried. What do you look like? I'm just gonna take a picture of myself looking. I want to take a picture of myself looking excited. Now that we have our reference. And yeah, you'll be able to see that. That's what I look like in the studio. Congrats! It doesn't go all the way to the pupils. So, I really didn't have any lips then either. But I want to be happy, not worried screaming. Happy screaming. Yay! Neil Diamond. So, I don't know. That's my tongue, I guess. So, I'll get back to that. I had bangs still. Let's not forget that. Oh, the eyebrows was more what I was trying to look at. Because I was like, why do I look nervous? They just should be like regular but high, I guess, essentially is the combination that I'm looking for. Yeah, because if they're like two together, like this, then you're worried. I don't know. We don't want to be worried. We're not worried. Neil Diamond does not scare us. So essentially, we get there. I have these little things in my hair too. And for some fakakta reason, Neil Diamond has not just like one side. Like most of the time when you get concert tickets, you get like, you know, the concert is like here and then the rest of the seats span out this way. Not Neil Diamond. No. Neil Diamond had like, you know what? We're going to give me a full pony because I don't really feel like drawing the rest of my hair down here. So, and does this look like me as a child? Absolutely not. However, I don't know. I'm not really going for likeness. I'm just going to go for like truthfulness to the story, I guess. So, essentially, we were amped. I was amped. We get in, and Neil Diamond does not have a concert that just focuses on one direction. Neil Diamond has a concert that is 360. That is a mighty fine hand, if I do say so myself. That is not a bad hand. Look at that hand. I'm awful at drawing hands, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go for the other one, because that's just anarchy. And I'm actually going to give myself that little bracelet that my mother was making while we were in the backyard. And I look way too old to be 8 here. Actually, you know what? I don't even know what 8-year-olds look like, to be completely frank with you. I was watching like a bunch of videos recently of like these little kids on the internet who like try foods and stuff. I literally was like, I don't even know what an 8-year-old looks like. I genuinely could not tell you if I looked at a child, how old that child was. No idea. So I'm using this pen that had my Instagram name on it. Now it's all scratched off. But it's the best pen in the world. And you saw from before all those drawings that I do, is they're all done in pen. And so I think I'm going to go that route again. And then we're going to use these markers to do some color. I might end a little early tonight because, to be frank with you, I'm entirely exhausted. So basically, we're at this concert. And I think it's kind of cool, I guess, that like my 2 first concerts were like alternating between parents. The first one was with my dad and the second one was with my mom, completely by accident. And so basically, it does have the name, but anyway, essentially, I've said that like 7,000 times tonight, but I was at this concert and Neil Diamond has like a full 360, like the whole venue is like sold out because he's just vibing out on like the literal entire stage. Like he would like look behind and like whatever. And so we had seats, I guess, because probably they were like cheaper. And like, why not, right? And we had seats. Who am I kidding? I didn't have eyebrows like this when I was a kid. I barely had eyebrows when I was a kid. So we're not going to draw them on a lot. And I was just looking back on pictures of when I was like 8 the other day. So I guess I could probably play that off. I was definitely chubbier than this, but it's too late for that. So we'll just give me like little chub lines. So he has the concert set up so that you can see it all the way around, and we are behind him. And me being me, I was just like excited, pumped to be there. I didn't really care what the outcome was. Played some baller songs. He played America, which my mom cried about. Sorry, Mom. He played Sweet Caroline, as obvious. And the memory that I have that I'm drawing off of tonight is the fact that so my parents raised me to be a good law-abiding citizen. And I was, raised to sit on the seats that were purchased for me. And so all of a sudden in Sweet Caroline, first of all, I was short because I was 8. And so I really couldn't see like a whole hell of a lot. And my mom allowed me during Sweet Caroline to get up on the seat, which is what I'm drawing here. This is the seats behind me, and this is me amped as fuck on top of the seats. She allowed me to get up on top of the seats, and to like sing along. I didn't know a damn word, let me tell you, because I think I'd been given this CD like really recently to when I went to the concert, because again, we hadn't prepared for this. This was just like a spur of the moment kind of thing. And so I got to go up on the seat and like, you know, wave my little heart out, and everyone during Sweet Caroline, you know the song. It gets to any person who's ever been to a white family function has heard Sweet Caroline. You know, Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. I'm not gonna sing the rest of it because I don't feel like getting us in copyright jail for Facebook. So I'm also drawing only in pen for this so that I don't go through to the other side, because we did that accidentally on this page. Whoops. So, basically, I was up on the chair. I was thrilled as fuck to be there, because why wouldn't I be? It's Neil Diamond, and it's my mother, and I'm 8, and it's a huge stadium, and I thought, wow, this is big. Never been to a place this big before, and I got thick arms. I made my arms a little bit too big, but that's okay. Everyone's allowed to have thick arms. So I gotta focus when I'm drawing circles. Yeah, this hand came out baller. I'm gonna fuck it up in the pen phase. No, I didn't. Okay, neat. Love it. Thank you. And like, I don't know, what do your hand lines look like? There you go. So, and I love a nail. Great. And an elbow pit. So here I am jamming out, and all of a sudden, oh, by the way, this shirt was fucking huge. This thing is like, I don't know, to me as an 8-year-old, like a dress. And is it a dress now? No, it's like a shirt. It is big still. It's like an extra large, probably. But when you're a child, anything over the size of the clothing that you're currently wearing is a dress of the purest, finest sort of ministry. So I'm wearing this big ass shirt, I think, which I was like a little self-conscious of, which is why I had like these little ball things on the top too. But basically, I'm standing up on this, Neil Diamond's singing some shit. I don't remember what song it was, but all of a sudden he turns around and he sees me in my big listen, did it actually happen? Who's to say? However, my mom backs me up, and my tiny memory backs me up, so we're gonna say that it happened, and no one can fight me on that. So, do I wanna do this? Do I wanna outline this now or no? Did I save that picture? No, I didn't. Dad, where are your messages? Okay. Yeah, I think an outline would maybe be good. So, I say as I entirely butcher that. So, I'm pumped. Neil Diamond turns his sparkly little butt around, and he's like, he looks at me, and he looks me dead in the eyes, sees my shirt, points at my shirt, and then points at me, and then like fucking waves at me. Or I think he might have given like me a kiss or something. I don't remember, but he like did something so that I was like, what? And like my mom was like, what? And I was like, I'm his diamond girl. Whoa, crazy. And Neil Diamond must have been like, I don't know, ancient at this point. I don't remember. But I'm butchering the words here, but that's okay. This is just for me and you, the patrons of Gov's Comedy Club Radio. And you guys don't mind. So, Diamond girl? Diamond. So, of course I was jazzed to now be Neil Diamond's Diamond Girl. The one and the only, of course. And I was pumped. He sang, I don't know if he sang Solitary Man, but some of my favorites from Neil Diamond specifically include Solitary Man. Why? I don't know. I think it's because my mind was like, you have to start on the first song of the album every time, because then I felt like I was cheating it out of, being the first song on the album, which is obviously not true, but my teeny mind said that. My big mind still says that. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to cheat this song. But then if you listen to it from the beginning and then you don't listen to it all the way through, then you've cheated the rest of the album out of its plays. Sometimes I would just start it from like wherever I left off, I guess. So that didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. There we go. Yeah, that eye came out a little fucked up. No one needs to know. That's between me and you. No, shush. So, Solitary Man was one of my favorites. Anything off of that record, to be completely honest with you, was one of my favorites. Obviously, like Sweet Caroline. Do I want to leave my mouth open? I don't think I want to leave my mouth open because I don't think that I'm going to be able to do it justice. I had like hair on the sides over here, little curls and stuff. Because otherwise I'd look bald on the side of my head. I don't know. I feel like that the mouth might make it look a little jank. So I'm gonna sketch it back out again. I wanted it almost to look like I was in Wonder, but I don't know. I think the eyebrows are a little too far gone for that at this point. Slash, like, maybe my eyes are a little bit. Yeah, I probably would have had to have a better arch in my eyebrow for that. Like, whoa. Or, like, a better, like, arch in my eye shape. Whee. I don't know how to draw small children. I had, like, little eyelashes, but they were blonde, so you really couldn't see them anyway. Today's episode of I shit on myself as a child. Because the good thing is, if I'm drawing and I ever fuck something up, I can just be like, she's wearing eyeliner. But here, I'm a child. Can't do that. I wasn't wearing eyeliner. And I think I'm going to leave my mouth closed, maybe. We'll find out. So I always start with this main line here. Normally. The lips are too big. My lips were tiny. My lips are tiny. Okay, let's give us a filtrum, first of all. The filtrum, if no one knows, is that like little place below your nose. Oops. That right there, that's your filtrum. And I guess I'm looking over here. I have a Cupid's bow, but I don't have big full lips like I keep drawing over and over again. I'm just expressionless. I don't even know what people look like when they're shocked. Yeah, I'm taking reference photos of myself now. That's the, doesn't look that bad on camera. And then I look at it in my person and I'm like, oh. I kind of want to have it be an open mouth. I keep drawing these big lips. I don't have big lips. Tiny baby lips. Tiny baby lips. Teeth. Barely. A mouth. Other lips. There. That's better. That's better. Okay. I can just shut up. For now. Okay. Teeth. My eyes still look dead inside, but that's fine. I should have drawn these with a greater arch in the eyebrows. And I should have... Here's the thing, too. I also have to draw with having my face be close enough to the microphone up here and having my hand be close enough to here and within the shot. So it's a little harder for me to draw and have to, like, consider all these things. Not making excuses, but more so just, like, explaining. I don't need this anymore. So... We'll make the little mouth. I'm really proud, actually, of that hand. Look at that fucking thing. Are you kidding me? I just drew that off the bat. Damn, bitch. Good for you. So, Solitary Man was one of my favorites. Cherry was one of my favorites. Forever in Blue Jeans. Shiloh, I couldn't stand. Sorry, Shiloh. Shiloh, when I was young, I used to call your name. Shut up. Me, salty. At Neil Diamond. I've seen Neil Diamond at this point far too many times for one person to have ever seen Neil Diamond. A lot of times I've seen Neil Diamond. How many at this point? A lot of times I've seen Neil Diamond. I'd have to say at least 3, if not more, because my dad just keeps buying us tickets to see Neil Diamond, which is great. I'll continue to see Neil Diamond till he dies, basically. 1, 2, 3. There's got to be another. There has to be another. We just saw him recently. Really? Damn, I'm surprised. I would have thought there was one more. Okay, so we've seen him 3 times. Or at least I've seen him 3 times. My mother has seen him far more than that. Because that's Marina and the Diamonds. That's not Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond, yeah, last time we saw him was 2012. That does not sound right. Mom, confirm. I feel like we saw him closer to now. My mom said, the t-shirt from the first Neil Diamond concert Dad took me to. You wanted the shirt for your first, and I never got it back. No, you didn't. I still have it. To this day, the one that I keep showing you from my dad's text messages is the one that I still have. It is like a little bit yellow. Is it an extra large? Yeah, it is an extra large. Big ass shirt. Okay, so I think I'm gonna move on to getting rid of the pencil lines, because I wanted to use like a Sharpie for the background, but I don't want this to bleed through the other side, because I really don't feel like having to forfeit every other page to this, to drawings in general and stuff. So normally when I draw with this pen, I just draw straight with the pen, but this time around I was like, you know what? I haven't drawn a child probably ever. I don't know that I can say that I've literally ever drawn a child before, as well as like, oh fuck, see, things like that happen. So we'll just add that into our shading. When you use an eraser on this pen or any pen, right after you try to draw with the pen, you can get smudges with the pen. Sometimes if I do pen drawings, which I often do with these pens, I will cheat the pen drawing by, again, using a Sharpie. See, like this came off. Fuck. Okay, let's be careful. By using Sharpie. And that's totally fine, except for right now when we do not want to have that be an issue by bleeding through the other side. So X-nay on the Sharpie. But we can do some awesome shading with our pen itself. And I might try and zoom you in a little bit here. Maybe that was a bad idea. No, it's holding. Okay. So, fuck. Me, it's holding. No. Okay. I'm like trying to MacGyver this shit. Okay. That did it. When we're doing the final results, I'll bring you back out. But I think that this is kind of important to see the close-up for now. So, God, I love Neil Diamond. I listen to him all of the time. I listen to him all the time. I had only a specific amount of CDs because my dad and my mom were the CD givers. And so I just would go in and I'd find anything with like a cool album cover, and that would be my thing for the time being. And I was obsessed. I loved him. I loved him so much. I thought that he was so cool. So we're going for shading 4 here. is that the concert light is coming from, we're going to say here. So there'd be like a little bit of shadow on this side of my face. Anyway, I just think he's really cool. I think his stuff is really nice and translatable throughout the years. And he's done some big stuff too, like, not to say that his regular stuff isn't big, but like he's like more maybe recognizable than you might think that Neil Diamond is. I know that I probably, if I hadn't heard of Neil Diamond from my parents, I probably wouldn't have known who he was. Which is, I mean, true of a lot of things, but, you know, take that in any way that you want. But specifically the fact that he did like E.T., Shine On Like Your Heart Light, that song is from him, and oh god, America's a big one, Sweet Caroline's a big one, people do know that a lot. I would normally go a lot more heavy with the shading on the face if I were doing something that wasn't so heavily lit from the front, because it is lit from the front, so I don't want to really go too far into detail on the shading on the front of the face, because if I do, then it's gonna look fucked up. Hi, Shannon. I can only see when people I know tune in, I guess. That just popped up, I don't know. But I hope I'm still, yeah, you can see it. Okay, I gotta move this shit up. So, gonna give a little bit more. Yeah, we're not gonna go, again, too into detail with this, because I think I want to keep it a little bit simpler, specifically in comparison to last time's drawing. Here's some lines in the hair. My bangs did not look like this, but we're gonna pretend that they did. And some hair. Again, I would go into more detail, but I don't think that I want to. I think I want to leave this a little bit more sparse. And I did have these little chubby little cheeks as a kid. And this shot of my hand would be in shadow, so would the underneath of this bracelet. And what I'm going to do is the one spot color I'm going to add to this drawing is the pink. I hated how I just said that. One thing I really always liked about this pen is that it is very easy to blend. So I'm going to draw in some of the background because I want to put the focus on me. It's all about me. What's gonna take up the majority of our time here is shading in the background. However, I do want to keep, I guess, some of it kind of like vignette it instead of like just shade in the whole background. And what's good about this whole big patch right here that's dark is that I can take from it physically with my ring finger, or any finger, but I use my ring finger, and I can use it as shading material for other parts of the drawing. And that is how we're going to create rivets in the shirt, because I don't want to make the shading too harsh. And then sometimes if you don't have like dark parts of your piece, it can be hard to find like places. Sometimes I would just take, when I was in school, like little sheets of paper and use them as places that I could draw like extra with the ink that I had. And I think that this pen is actually dying, so I'm gonna have to get another one at some point. I have a bunch still. We ordered like 200 to begin with. Add some shading in there. We're gonna say that I had on darker colored shorts, and there would be a shadow here regardless, even if they weren't darker colored. Can you see that? Yeah. Mundo was mine from the time that I found her. What the hell are the lyrics to that song? I love that damn song. I think my mom asked me why I like that song so much, Solitary Man. God, I was obsessed with that. In my head, I was like, yo, I'm about to be a solitary man until I find the one. I'm about to be a solitary man up in here. I don't know why I identify with that so much. Now okay, but like back when I was like 8, I wasn't a solitary man at 8. Melinda was mine till the time that I found her. Holding Jim, loving him. And my uncle's name is Jim, so I was like, Then Sue came along, loved me strong, that's what I thought. Me and Sue, but that died too. Don't know that I will, but until I can find me a girl who'll stay and won't play games behind me, I'll be what I am, a solitary man. I still am a solitary man. Valentine's Day is coming up. That's all I have to say about that. I don't really have anything else besides that. I've always been a sucker for holidays in general. I like any excuse to celebrate something, you know. It's fun, and I think I was just talking about this with my mom tonight, and she was like, yeah, you might not feel the same way when you're, you know, my age or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I can see being tired, because I am already, and I'm only 22. But I definitely am like a huge sucker for, I'm like a huge romantic / like nostalgia / like celebratory type of person. I just love celebrations and the potential to, like, you know, celebrate something that you might not have the opportunity to during the rest of the year, i.e. specifically with Halloween, like dress up, and, you know, like with Christmas, like give people gifts and whatever. And so I like to make a big deal out of things if I can and have the time or the effort or the money to do so, specifically like birthdays and stuff. And with Valentine's Day, I think I've been single for every single Valentine's Day with the exception of 2 in my 22 years worth of time. And listen, that's not to say that's not a bad thing. That's not bad at all. It's just that, like, some of those times were like right either before or after. What? No, I'll say I was single for 19 of them. I was definitely in a relationship still. For one of them that I forgot about, but that person was away. It was a nightmare. And so, we were like very near a breakup anyway. I don't want to go through this, and like this other side of this is going to be crazy. I got to get something to go in between these pages so that I don't like press through. But basically, you know, Valentine's Day, everyone who's like against it will be like, it's just a Hallmark holiday. And that's fine. Live your life. Believe what you want. But I do think it's a nice thing to be able to, like, take a time to celebrate people you love regardless of who they are, if they're not romantic or if they're platonic or if they're like someone that you even vaguely have an interest in. Like, I don't know, take your time, like do something nice for, like, even yourself. Show some self-love. Like, they did like the whole Galentine's Day thing. Okay, go have like Valentine's Day. Go like get yourself like some Taco Bell and a bath bomb and like have a good night, you know what I mean? Like, go get yourself some cider and like purchase that movie on Amazon that you've been putting off because it's $4. Like, take your $4 time, all right? Go home. You have my permission, okay? Not my money, but my permission. Go home, buy yourself that $4 Amazon movie that you want to watch. Go watch any Oscar-winning movie. And go have a good time. And go and do something nice for yourself or with your friends or whatever. Like, this Friday night I'm going out and I'm going to dance with a friend of mine. And that's it. And that's going to be fun. And that's going to be the end of it. And do I have, like, you know, am I sad that I'm single on a Valentine's Day? This year? No. Last year? Yes. Because I was just getting out of a relationship that I was upset that I was getting out of for circumstances that were extenuating. which is fine. I'm genuinely not bitter. However, which I think is a counterproductive thing, because if you say you're not bitter, then you're bitter, but whatever. So, essentially last year, and I was also like really stressed about school last year or whatever, but I'm a little bit more set in where I am this year. And I think things that are sad hit harder when you're sad initially, and then you just add more sad to something. I think, you know what I'm trying to say. I regret making this whole background black, because now I have to do the whole thing, and I've committed to that. And listen, I'm not ashamed of commitment, but when it's something that drains my pen so much, maybe I am. So, and I forgot, I have been a left-handed person for 22 years of my life, and I still don't remember to do the other side first, so that I don't get that shit on the side of my hands. And yet here I am, being an absolute dingus once and again. Drawing on the sides of paper is always a great laugh. I think any holiday should be, this has nothing to do with this, but I think any holiday, or any event, to be honest with you, this does have to do with this, concerts and shit. I think any event should be the way that you want it to be. Whatever way you're going to have fun or enjoy yourself is the way that you should just go about it. If you are going to a concert and you're like going to be alone, I used to be so fucking afraid to go to concerts alone. And there was the first concert I ever went to alone. I can tell you what it was. It was a Tonight Alive concert. It's this Australian pop punk band with this absolutely killer lead gal who I adore, Jenna McDougall. I would love to either marry you, be you, or make art for you. So one of the above, reach out to me. And nobody that I know either was in town that liked them or that liked them at all. And so I was like really nervous to go. And they were also like, they were co-headlining with this like really like bigger band that like I really didn't know, and is like a lot more like screamy. And I was kind of nervous, not specifically about like not liking the music, but of the demographic that would be at the show. And I just didn't want to get murdered, to be quite frank with you. So that's a big concern all the time, getting murdered at concerts. No, I'm kidding. Just like, being in the middle of like, sorry, I got an email that I didn't think was addressed to me. Getting like pummeled at like a GA show is definitely a concern when you're, I'm not short, but I'm also not a 6 foot tall, very large man. Although I, wish I was. No, I'm kidding. But basically, that was a concern of mine with like safety and stuff. But with seated concerts and stuff, I was always like, ugh, I don't want to like sit by myself or like be alone for like the beginning. And you know what? I have to tell you, fucking just do it. Like, it's gonna be like a couple of minutes of uncomfortable for the ability to say that you went to that concert and had like a baller time. Honestly, there are concerts I wish I had gone to by myself, just because the person I was with didn't like the artist, or like didn't know them enough, and just like wasn't vibing. Like, fuck it. I don't want to go to a concert with somebody who doesn't know the artist, or at least isn't going to be a good show. For instance, my friend, I'm not calling anyone out. My friend Olive, shout out to you, Olive. Olive is a baller person, because even if Olive doesn't know the artist, if Olive gets a ticket, Olive will like do their research beforehand, like check through and like listen to the artist beforehand, and like, get to know them. And even if Olive doesn't, we still go and like we still bop along, like even if Olive doesn't know the artist. Like, we just have such a good time, and like they just don't care. Like, I don't know, Olive is such a good person to go to concerts with. Shout out to you. I love you. We're going to another one kind of soon, I think. I don't remember actually, now that I think about it. But like, go and have a good time. Bring people to events that you think you'll have a good time with. Like, don't care what people think or like whatever. And the thing is, go to something by yourself if you think that if you don't think that you're gonna find anyone who's gonna have a good time with you, because honestly, it's not worth it. I've gone to concerts with people, and again, I'm not trying to call anyone out. I've gone to concerts with people who I really didn't like know all that well, and like didn't have like a super great time with, just because like they didn't either know the music, or like I just desperately needed somebody to go with. And that's totally fine, and I'm glad that I like did go, because otherwise I maybe would not have. But like, if you're just scared to go to a concert by yourself, just do it. No one's looking at you. Everyone cares so much about themselves that no one actually genuinely gives a shit about you, to be completely frank. Um, like, in context to this. And I don't know, just do it. When I went to that concert, I was so nervous and I was like so scared, and I just like found a little spot. I like, stuck my claim. I like vibed to the artist that I wanted to be there for. And then the second that the second artist came out, which I don't know if anyone knows, Silverstein, they came out, and all these grown men like pushed to the front. I looked around, and I didn't know Silverstein's music. Not that I don't like their music, I just don't like know any of it. And I literally was just like, bye, and I just left. I straight up just left. And I was like, you know what? I paid my money. I saw the 2 opening bands that I really, really liked. And then I saw one of the headliners who I also really liked, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. Bye. And I just yeeted out of there, and then I got home by like 11, and my life was great. It was a good time. I recently made the decision to not go to a concert for the first time in my entire life on Monday, and I'll explain why. So, when I was in RA, I had this wonderful girl named Janie. She is now a bassist in this band called Razor Braids. And they are awesome. I saw them live sometime in July, and they were super cool. I took some photos for them. Like, they were great. And then I saw that they were headlining with this other band that I know, and not headlining, sorry. That they were playing a gig with this other band that I know, and this other band that I like research into and actually really like their stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Bought my ticket. Shit was like $10. And I bought my ticket like a while ago, and I had plans to go with like 2 separate people. Both of them bailed on me like recently or like day of. And I was at work, and I work until I like don't have like a set time I have to leave, or like that I like, like have to stay until. So I was just like, excuse me. The show was at the Mercury Lounge, and for anyone who knows the Mercury Lounge is a late night concert hall. So any of the shows that are at the Mercury Lounge start at like 9 p.m., which is fine, except for the fact that my work ends at 5, and I don't live in the city. I live out here on Long Island, and so the unfortunate part about that is that now I have no place to land for those X amount of hours that I could be at home or like sleeping or whatever. And I was like, okay, let me just wait it out, because I can't like feasibly sit in a restaurant for like 4 hours, and it only takes me like 20-minute subway ride to get to the Mercury Lounge from where I work. I'm like, the one time that the transport could actually do me well by like being long as shit is the one time that it doesn't have to be long as shit. And so I wait at work all day long. I'm debating. I'm like, maybe I should go home. Maybe I should just not go, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, I want to go. I want to support. Like, I paid for it already. Like, I want to go. And finally, it gets to be like 6:30, and I've now stayed. Sorry, I was drawing down here. I've now stayed until 6:30. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm just like, you know what? I just don't want to go to this. Like, not the band, not the concert. It's just so late. Like, I was like, ugh. And I normally stay up really, really late. But there was something, I'm just like, the time of the month, or like just like where the planets are or something is like just making me real tired. And I was like, honestly, I can't fathom having to spend the next 6 hours in the city, because it's going to end at like midnight. And I was only going to stay for like half of the main person, because I don't really know them as well as I do the one person I bought the tickets for. But I was like, even so, that's a lot of time to commit to something that I really am not like wholeheartedly, like, that I'm just so tired. And I was like, you know what? I texted my mom, and I knew that she would tell me to not go, which is why I didn't text her to begin with, because I was like, but what if I want to go? Then I don't want to like feel bad that I asked her for her opinion and then I didn't go with it. So I texted her, and I was just like, hey, I'm supposed to go to that concert tonight. I really don't want to. And she was like, how much are the tickets? And I was like, I don't know, like 15 with the fees. And she was like, come home, like sleep, eat something, blah, blah, blah. And I had waited like all day to eat. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go eat. I like hiked my way up to Penn Station, because there were no more trains going from Atlanta Terminal directly to my town. And I like hiked my way up to Penn Station. And by the time that I got home, the concert had not even started yet. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I felt really bad. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, I'm like, you know, having 9 hours of sleep going, you know what? I don't feel too bad right now. So I still am exhausted to right now. But like better than I could have been. Which is nice, I guess. Sorry, I know this has been fucking annoying to watch me just paint the background. So we're going to take a break from that because I'm tired too. We're going to draw. We're going to use the pink. So we're going to spot color little baubles in my hair. A little bauble on the other side. And the little baubles here. And here. I also have in a pink earring, as you do. Boop, 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 boop. And the bracelet was blue, but we're not going to do that because I just wanted to keep it like monochromatic or like one spot color instead of multiple. It was like a teal, so sorry. But we're going to keep it like that. And then I think for the Diamond Girl thing, I know that the pattern is different on this shirt, but the way that my mind reads it, I think we're just going to do like an ombre because to be honest with you, I don't really feel like spending the extra time to do more than that. So I'm just going to do this and then take my darker pink and go in afterwards and kind of blend it up a little bit. I don't know that that's exactly what I wanted, but we were already here, so yeah, that looks good. Is that gonna bleed? Nice. No bleeding, yay! Yeah, that's not exactly what I wanted, to be completely honest with you. But again, we're already here. It doesn't look bad. Am I on screen? Okay. The A is jank. But that's okay. Diamond Girl. You know. You know I keep that motherfucking thing on me. I've been watching my screen through my iPad next to me too, and that shit is gonna die like real fast. Do 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 do. I don't know where that. Oh fuck. Oops. Oh, that's smarter. I should do that first. Yeah. That's a better idea. No one mind that. No one look at the man behind the curtain. Diamond? Yeah, I spelled that right. Ay, Dios. I'm losing my mind. Okay. Yeah, that's a better method, because then I can just blend automatically. I would have loved to like have some pink streaks in my hair, but Lord knows I did not have those back in the day because my dad would have killed me. Not killed me. My dad is a wonderful man, but he definitely did not want me altering my body at a young age. It took me a lot to get even these little piercings in here, which were super jank, by the way. Diamond Girl. We're almost done. This is annoying. I regret this decision, but that's okay. It's almost over. It's almost over. No one needs to know. I'm just going to do both of these because I don't really feel like switching back and forth again. No one pay attention to that singing. Okay. Nice. Okay, and we're gonna do the Neil Diamond live in concert 2001 to 2002, baby. It's not the year I went, but whatever. I don't like the fact that that's the only place we have the dark pink, so I'm gonna make my thumb the dark pink and a little bit of this bauble because I know that I didn't have 6 of those in the same color. To those of you who have stayed, thank you. I know this is late and not really what you want to be doing on a Wednesday night. I'm kidding. But tonight is not the night of self-deprecation, MJ. No night is the night for that. Let's move this up a little bit so that I have some better traction. So anyway, this is a baller concert to go to. I don't remember a lot of it because I was, again, 8. And I don't remember a lot from when I was, like, a kid, I guess. I remember, like, little bits and pieces, but, like, very specific things, you know? Like, dumb things that I shouldn't remember. Like, I remember, like, walking by this, like, dumb project when I was a kid to pick up leaves off of the side of the street and, like, bring them in bags. And we had to, like, it all to be different colors. Like, a green one, a red one, a yellow one, a brown one, an orange one, whatever. And we had to bring them in. I don't remember what we had to do with them, but I do remember having, like, the strangest sense of deja vu. I was in, like, I was 5, rather. And I remember being like, oh, I feel like I've been here before. My mom was like, what? And, like, we just got to, like, walk around and, like, pick up leaves. I don't know. I just remember it being a lot of fun for no reason. I think it was because I got to do with my family, and that was nice. And my brother was, like, kind of young at that point. I think he must have been, like, 2 or so. Let me shut this off so that I'm not draining my battery. And yeah, this is the fucking annoying part of drawings. I've done ink drawings before. A lot of what I did in high school was pen drawings like this. And to be honest with you, when people would be like, why don't you do this as often as, like, you could? It's because of this. Because drawing this with your hands is absolutely, like, wears down your, not only just, like, your hands, but, like, your mental state. Like, I don't want to be doing this right now. Like, I wish it would all just be black, but, like, I can't make that happen just, like, on its own. So, we could use Sharpie, but again, I don't really want to bleed through the other side, and we're not. Like, yeah, can you see this on the other side? Yes. But, like, it's just the press. And I could do something simple on the other side. The next, concert that I went to after this was in 2006, I believe. It was the American Live Idol concert, and I think what I might be doing from that is drawing. I'm not quite sure yet, but the one vivid memory I have from that specific concert was the fact that Chris Daughtry came on, and I remember being like, Mom, why is he bad? And she was like, shut up, like, because she was just like, be grateful, like, that we're here. And I was like, you're right, but also, why is he bad? And I remember I've seen him in concert past that. I saw him with Nickelback probably, I don't know, 2-3 years ago at this point in time. Yes, I've seen Nickelback in concert, and I intend to again. They're coming this summer to the Jones Beach Theater, and I will be there. Don't even put it past me. Shit's gonna be like $10. So anyway, I saw him again as an adult, and I was like, what? He slaps. He's really good. Why was he bad back then? And maybe he just, like, worked on his stage presence or whatever, who's to say. And now he's got his own music. But I was, like, super pissed that... Was Chris Daughtry the same year as Carrie Underwood? I think that it was. Let me double check. My dad said, it is your world. You don't have to go full black. I know I don't, but I feel like I do. Oh, no. It was the year that Taylor Hicks won. Why? Who knows? Because Catherine McPhee is, like, crazy, bonkers talented. I can talk more about this next time, but I might do, like, 2 in 1 that week because the next 2 concerts I've been to were 2006, I went to the American Idol Live concert, and in 2008, I went to the, again, a Neil Diamond concert. So I could not remember that one for the actual life of me. So I might just do a half page for each of them and then go from there. Or just do like a really abstract drawing for both of them and like not really, you know. I know I have memories of the American Idol one because I specifically remember us buying like those t-shirts from the people outside the concert venue. Oops. Instead of the t-shirts from the actual concert. Oops. We did that for years. I had a discount. Not only did I have a Nickelback t-shirt, I had a $10 outside the parking lot Nickelback t-shirt that I wore for years. Years, I tell you. I wore that thing in freshman year of high school because I was like, it's a band t-shirt. It's cool. And my mom had to tell me, stop doing that because it's not. Okay. 1805 slash. Oh, crap. Neil Diamond. That would have saved me some drawing. Slash MSG. And we're going to kind of bunch it off. Beep, bop, beep, boop. We're almost done. I don't know why I did that. To be quite frank. But this is going to be like cool to have next to each other. Like, because one's a little bit more cartoony and one's more realistic, as you can see with your eyes. I know this is late too. I feel bad that this is so late because I know that I could be getting like better views on this, as well as like I know that I don't want to be up this late out in public. But I don't really have a better time slot to do this in because other people have shows, as well as I have a full-time job, so I cannot be here really any earlier than like 7. But there's a show before me on this day, and there's a whole bunch of other shows on other days that I cannot. I could do this on like a Saturday or Friday or something, but I honestly don't really want to give up my weekend like that. I thought the same thing when I was at Pratt Radio. People would have shows on Friday nights, and I'd be like, what? Why? Literally, why would you ever want to do that? And then the thing is, like, we had to staff it too, so we had to have monitors for that time of the night. And I was like, I don't really know why you'd ever want, why we would even allow this to happen, but we did. Really close to the end. God, I'm so close. Okay, come on. I'm gonna use some of this. Some cheek. Good noise. And then the chairs are also black, but we are absolutely not going to do that because fuck that. I've said I would end this around 10:30, and I think that I'm gonna try and wrap this up in the next 7 minutes. Like I said, oh my god, I'm so close to finishing this off. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. And for the chairs, we're just gonna do like hatching. Yep. Can you see this? Yeah. And same thing for these. But like a thicker hatch. And this will do like a very vague coloring. These are the seat, what are those called? Armrests. Nice. The divider between the two. So anyway, yeah, if you're tuning in like now, I guess you kind of missed it, but this is me attending my second concert ever, Neil Diamond at Madison Square Garden, and he turned around and he looked at me in the face and he smiled at me, and I was like, what? Crazy. As 8-year-olds do. And we're going to do like some thin lines down here. This is me wearing my Diamond Girl shirt that, again, I wear on like probably a weekly basis. Most of my pajamas are just old clothes. I mean, whose aren't, to be honest with you? If your pajamas are real pajamas, I don't trust you. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But there's the full view. I think I'm kind of done, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more shadowing up in here on the side of the face. But like, I hate that little line that just got made, but that's okay. I think I'm, besides like maybe some like rivets in the shirt. That is not where that would have gone. But like, this was pulling in this direction. It was a wrinkly shirt. I think that's kind of it. I think that's where I want to go for this. So that's my first Neil Diamond concert at Madison Square Garden. As I've said 7,000 times, sorry. And this was me standing on the seats, being a crazy little 8-year-old. So that's this for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's sketchbook session. This is cool to kind of have like my first 2 concerts next to each other on the page. Next week after that, we got some more stuff coming. Next week, actually, we have... Hold on. Let me switch to the main one so you can see my face. Hello. So, again, I'm MJ. This is PunKrap, etc. And next week, we have a very special guest. We are doing another acoustic live session. And this week, we're going to have Zolfia Esquino come and do an acoustic set with, I believe, a drummer as well. I'm not going to give too much away because also I don't know a lot. So we're going to have her come on and do an acoustic set. Listen on into that. I know that there are certain weeks where I can't do video because of the fact that I have copyrighted music playing, but this is not one of them. And so that's going to be a lot of fun listening to that. Other than that, I think that is the end of my show for the week. Thank you so much for watching my sketchbook session. Here's me with my sketchbook. Again, this is PunKrap, etc. This is from 9 to 11 on Wednesday nights. I'm MJ, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you next week. Bye.